What's up, everybody? Norberto Sports here, and today we are finally back. The NFL season has started. Week 1 officially started with the Eagles versus the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football, followed by the Chiefs versus the Chargers in São Paulo, Brazil. Again, second game in São Paulo, Brazil. Different teams. Now, before we start, let's just remember a little bit about last year's season from the Eagles. Now, the Eagles started 2-2, losing the last game to the Tampa Bay Bucks. We lost to Baker Mayfield. We thought the season was over, but it wasn't over. Then the Eagles defeated the Browns, Giants, Bengals, Jaguars, Cowboys, Commanders, Rams, Ravens, Panthers, Steelers, and our last loss was against the Commanders because Jalen Hurts got a concussion. After that, our second QB got the job done. 41 against the Cowboys, 23 against the Giants, and we went to the wild card, defeating the Packers 22-10, second seed, and winning against the Rams 28-22 in a snowy game, to get a revenge back against Jaden Daniels to win 55-23, to then face Mahomes and the Chiefs in Super Bowl 59, winning the game 40-22. That was the 2024-2025 season for the Eagles, a season that now will be remembered as one of our best seasons. Now, we got to look at what happened Thursday night. So Thursday night started, it was anything but football. Thursday night football, Eagles against Cowboys in Philadelphia, started pretty decent, I would say. We had a little ceremony. All that started good until Eagles fight the Cowboys. Now, but I mean fight, it's not a fight, it's a spit. Jalen Carter spit Dak Prescott right in his jersey. I gotta say, why? Come on, man. I know the rivalry is big, but to spit, I get it. Eagles and Cowboys have a big rivalry, but it shouldn't go that far. The Eagles were able to defeat the Dallas Cowboys 24-20. Now that I look at it, the Cowboys had every chance and they just gave up. They couldn't connect, and I'm gonna tell you something. It wasn't a win, but I was expecting the Eagles to win by at least a touchdown. But we won by a field goal a little bit, 24. Even if they make a field goal, we would have won by 1 point. But the Cowboys really sucked at the last quarter, at the last chance they had. All they had to do was drive that ball to the field, to the end zone, and finish the deal, seal the deal. They 26-24, get the ball to the end zone, and the game is basically over. The Eagles wouldn't have any time to actually make a big play, depending if they were on the clock or not. But when they try, they actually fail. 4th and goal, CeeDee Lamb drops a pass that if he would have caught it, that pass would have been one of the greatest passes of the 2025-2026 season of the NFL. But the Cowboys lost. I mean, Dak Prescott had a game that I would say wasn't bad. Even though they lost Michael Parsons, they were able to keep the Eagles at bay. The Eagles started the game simple. A touchdown by Hurts. Actually, the Dallas Cowboys had their first touchdown done by the running back, and then the Eagles go in with Jalen Hurts doing a touchdown in the first quarter. So first quarter starts pretty much evenly, 7-7. Then second quarter comes in, they go for a touchdown. Um, Everything seems normal at that point. The Cowboys were winning until we had Jalen Hurts going for 2 touchdowns. The one in the first quarter, then in the second quarter. But before that one, we had Saquon Barkley going for 1 touchdown. We got the ball back. Then Jalen Hurts that had that great diving touchdown that he did using his legs. Jalen Hurts actually had a good. Jalen Hurts was actually running the ball 14 carries and 62 yards. That's a lot. That's a lot for now, not compared to Lamar Jackson, but it is a lot though. 62 yards. Saquon Barkley went with 60 yards. Damn, I can't believe Jalen Hurts passed Saquon by 2 yards. Now, the reason why Saquon didn't have a lot of yards is because the Cowboys went in there to go against Saquon. They were stopping Saquon. He didn't have any real big openings like last year because the defense knew that Saquon would be a threat to them, so they actually went against him. That gave Jalen Hurts the opportunity to run because the Cowboys, it is true, they lost Michael Parsons, but they were focusing on Saquon. Now, Jalen Hurts went out with 152 yards, passing yards, and the 62 that he was throwing with his 2 touchdowns and 1 touchdown by Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley carried the ball 18 times, getting his 60 yards, and Jalen Hurts 14, getting 62. Now, that game, A.J. Brown, he wasn't being targeted at all. Just one reception, 8 yards, and that was it. And that was towards the end of the game. Devonta Smith got 3 receptions and 16 yards. A.J. Brown, against the Chiefs, we need to use him. Like, there's no need for us to have A.J. Brown and Smith right there and not be able to take full advantage of them. Now, Dallas Goedert got 7 receptions and 44 yards. That was a Dallas Goedert game. Then we had Dodson with 3 receptions and almost 60 yards, 59 yards. Now, to look at the Cowboys, Dak Prescott had 188 yards, almost hitting the 200, with CeeDee Lamb getting 110 yards. 7 receptions, 110 yards. That was a lot. But at the end, he couldn't keep the ball. Dropped it 2 times. Well, actually dropped it 3 times in the last quarter, if I remember correctly, allowing the Eagles to win. George Pickens is their new addition to the team. 3 receptions and 30 yards. That was it. The Dallas Cowboys only put up in the first quarter 7 points, and the second quarter they put 13 points. That was about it. Nothing more. They didn't even make a single field goal, which comes again. The Cowboys, supposedly, if the Cowboys beat the Eagles, which by the looks of it, they wouldn't have made a statement saying the Cowboys had a chance in the last quarter to defeat the Eagles and to claim victory that day and make the Eagles and embarrass the Eagles on their Super Bowl ceremony, which wouldn't be bad for us Eagles, but thankfully it did not happen. Now, I was gonna make a video just about the Eagles, but I was like, let's talk about the Chargers and the Chiefs as well. So the Chiefs and Chargers went to Sao Paulo, Brazil. The Eagles went to Sao Paulo, Brazil last year. They defeated the Green Bay Packers. We've defeated Green Bay Packers 2 times last year. First time in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Second time in the playoffs. Now, the Chargers and Chiefs game. I can't believe the Chiefs lost to the Chargers. If Kelsey would have dropped that 2-point conversion, this story would be different. But it feels weird though. I don't know why. It feels kind of weird seeing the Chiefs lose on their first game. Now, not every team has to win. Not every team has to win their first game. But I don't know. For some reason, I feel kind of weird seeing the Chiefs lose their first game, their opening game, after coming from the Super Bowl. He had one of the best seasons last year. Now, Patrick Mahomes had a touchdown. He ran the ball, and he actually, I can't believe Patrick Mahomes actually hit it somebody with all his force. The Chargers defender, ouch. When I saw that, I was watching the game. When I saw it, I was like, damn. Patrick Mahomes does have a lot of force though, because coming in and hitting somebody and knocked them, well, not knocked them out, but throw him out of balance. That was a big hit. Now Patrick Mahomes had a touchdown. Travis Kelce had a touchdown, and the game pretty much went like this: the Chargers answered with a touchdown in the first quarter. Then the game is 6-6 in the second quarter. The Chiefs actually missed that extra point, leaving the second quarter on 6 points. Now on the third quarter, field goal, 6 points. The Chargers answer with a touchdown, and on the final quarter, they had that 2-point conversion, which they failed, and then a field goal, and the Chargers were able to convert to defeat the Chiefs in São Paulo, Brazil. Now the Eagles do play the Chiefs next Sunday, September 14 at 4:25. Now I feel a little bit bad for the Chiefs because they lost 2 receivers. Now Worthy just got hit by, it was an accident. He got hit by Kelce, and he, I guess, dislocated his shoulder and was carried out of the field. I think that was one of the factors that led to the defeat of the Chiefs in Brazil, because as they didn't have Rashee Rice as well. He's suspended for 6 games, so they actually, Pacheco only had, I can't believe Mahomes actually got more rushing yards than Pacheco. Pacheco only had 25 rushing yards, Kareem Hunt 16, Patrick Mahomes 57 with a 258 passing yard and 1 touchdown. Then Travis Kelce had a touchdown, 2 reception for 47 yards. Now, Hollywood Brown had 10 reception and 99 yards. Juju Smith, 5 reception, 55 yards, but no touchdown. I don't know. The Chiefs, I believe the Chiefs just lost because they didn't have their they just lost a wide receiver right there in the spot. And because Kelce dropped that ball. If Kelce wouldn't have dropped that ball, things would have been different. Probably the Chiefs would have been able to come back. But I guess after Kelce dropped that ball, the momentum got lost. And they couldn't recover. Now, the Chargers, in the other hand, had a momentum that went throughout the whole game. Touchdown first quarter, touchdown third quarter, touchdown fourth quarter. That's how they answer to the Chiefs every single time. And being able to stop them in the first quarter for no touchdown or field goal, and just giving them, well, to a touchdown in the second quarter, and just having them at 2 field goals on the third quarter, that's a defense that was doing their job. Now, next Sunday, like I say, the Eagles against the Chiefs. That's a game. That's a Super Bowl rematch. I would like to see it. I will see it. But at this, with what happened on last night game, on Friday's game, I believe that the Eagles should not have a tough time beating the Chiefs. It's going to be a game that if our defense and Carter doesn't do anything like he did last game, we can win against the Chiefs. Who knows? We can probably go up and probably do the same thing we did in the Super Bowl if our defense, like I say, doesn't get into trouble like they did at the start of the game. Not even a snap, and we're already in trouble. Damn. the Eagles know how to start a game in a bad way. But everything should be good for the Eagles next game, and hopefully they target AJ Brown. I mean, they need to. We need to start using Jalen Hurts needs to start using everybody. He needs to start finding ways to get the ball to everybody, to Devontae, AJ, give it to Saquon, and hopefully Saquon finds his rhythm again. Like I said, the Cowboys were just preparing for him, so it was going to be some. Of course, he wasn't going to go for 100 yards because, like I said, the Cowboys were preparing for him. I believe that the Cowboys' whole game got revolved around stop Saquon Barkley, and they actually did it. Just keeping him at 60 yards. He couldn't reach 90, which last year he was reaching 80s and 90s and 100s. But the Cowboys, I gotta say it, I'm not a Cowboys fan or anything, but the Cowboys actually were able to stop one of our biggest players, Saquon Barkley, just keeping him, like I said, to 80 yards. Hopefully next game, the Eagles start using everybody, Jalen Hurts start passing the ball like he did in the Super Bowl, get plays like that, because that's the only way we're going to defeat the Chiefs. And I know Patrick Mahomes will, and he's going to be hungry for revenge. Now, Jalen Hurts has faced Patrick Mahomes several times, actually. As a matter of fact, we played him 2 times in the Super Bowl, as everybody knows. And we have played him 2 times in normal games, not counting Super Bowls. And if I'm correctly, things right now is 2-2, depending how everything goes on next Sunday game. Everything can go to a different route. We have played Mahomes 3 times. In one of them regular season, 4 times now with the Super Bowl. Once in 2021 regular season, second time on Super Bowl from 2023 when we lost, and the other time was after that year, 2023 regular season, and now 2024 Super Bowl when we defeated them. So we have played Patrick Mahomes 4 times, and right now the game against Jalen Hurts and Mahomes is tied 2-2. Now, if we are able to win against them on next Sunday, we should have an advantage of 1 point over him, and who knows if he makes it to the Super Bowl. But by looking at what how the Chiefs play, I have a pretty feeling that they might not make it. But who knows? That's how they started when they defeated the 49ers. They had a bad season. People were thinking they were not going to make it, and out of nowhere, like that, they defeated Josh Allen, defeated Lamar Jackson, and Super Bowl. Here we go against the 49ers, winning against the 49ers after coming from the past season. The Kansas City Chiefs should feel proud of Patrick Mahomes, but again, I don't know why. I think and I hope the story is different this time. If they have a bad season, I don't see them coming back from it. Super Bowl next rematch will be in our televisions, and hopefully the Eagles are able to win to have that advantage over Patrick Mahomes, because right now we are tied.